What's up everyone? So today I'm at Maserati-Lotus of Greenville checking out a 2005 Lotus Elise. Huge shout out to them for providing this vehicle for today's video. Definitely check out their website in the description below. Today I'm going to go over the 7 reasons why I think the Lotus Elise is the best bargain supercar. And if you enjoy this video, definitely be sure to give it the thumbs up, click on that subscribe button down below, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. First up is the affordable price range. You can pick up an Elise anywhere between roughly $25,000 all the way up to $70,000 brand new. I'm basing this video off of picking up a used Lotus, however, so while this can be a relatively inexpensive sports car, you don't see too many around. At least I hardly see many Lotuses around, and I would say I would definitely pick up this car compared to other cars in the similar price range, which I'll get to later on in this video. The reliability of this car is also just as good. With the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder Toyota Corolla engine, you know this is not only a strong engine, but it will last a very long time. I've also read on forums and some other various sources that you can bring the car to your local Toyota dealer for engine parts. I would definitely try to go to a certified Lotus dealer, but in the case you're in a pinch and Toyota is right there, it's always good to have a plan B. Being this is a beefed up Corolla engine, it has about 58 more horsepower and about 10 more foot-pounds of torque, all at higher RPMs of course, and weighs just over 800 pounds less than the Corolla. So the power in this car is amazing for those numbers, and while you can get the supercharged engine, there's plenty of power in this car, and it definitely puts a smile on my face driving it. If you're looking for a fun weekend car or even a potential daily, I think the Lotus is a perfect car. It's not the most convenient getting in and out compared to other larger exotics, but once you get the hang of it, it's really not that bad. You know, you could go out and spend roughly 50 grand for a used GTR as a daily and have a door opening with no sill in the way and even back seats. But for less than half the price, I think you can get the same, if not more, attention in this car. And you do have a trunk that I know can fit 2 large backpacks full of camera gear. This car definitely has significantly lower engine specs than other supercars out there, but the weight is a huge difference. It weighs a lot less than most other supercars. There's also no power steering, which really adds to the driver engagement, and at slow speeds like in parking lots, it does get a little heavy, it's a little noticeable, but once you're moving even around 10 miles an hour, it's really not that bad. Feels like a normal vehicle, and it gives you the direct response you're looking for. Very tight steering, very driver engaging. I will say though that as a potential daily driver, it's probably not the only car that you're going to want to own, but it will definitely be the most fun, exotic, and reliable. With this car having a mid-mounted engine and no compartment room up front, and then no back seats as well, storage space is very limited. With that being said, I think there's still plenty of room in the rear trunk. This clip that I'm showing you is the trunk space in the Elise S Cup R, and you can see that we have 2 backpack fulls worth of camera gear, and they're fitting in there just fine. However, with the giant wing that's in the Elise S Cup R, it does take up more storage room. So in this Elise having no wing, the trunk space is much larger. You can see that there's a car cover in the back, and then I can fit my backpack in there also. I think you could easily fit a good amount of items in here, and I think 2 people could pack and go on a nice road trip. So when I own this car one day, that's exactly what I'll be doing at some point. Having a nice road trip, packing all that I need, and just having a blast in this car. Next up is my favorite part of this car, and that is the exotic look that it has. From other videos I've seen on YouTube of people's reaction when they see a Lotus, people just go crazy. I think another reason for that is that you just don't see them that often, and it looks like no other car out on the road. I think that this car gets the same attention, if not more, than other supercars at a much higher price point, and that's pretty cool to see. Another cool point is that when buying a used Lotus and finding a really good deal, this car has about 25,000 miles on it, which is in the range that I would be looking at. You can spend less on this car than, let's say, a Camry, for example. And people who don't know cars very well will wonder how in the world you afforded this exotic looking car when in fact they spent more on their Camry, which is pretty cool to think about. Next up, I think this is the perfect entry-level sports car. While it's not the quickest exotic to 60, it definitely has the most driver engagement. With no power steering, it's just something cool to own. Again, going back to the price range, looking in the similar price point, you could pick up a base 370Z, a fully loaded Genesis Coupe or Miata, or even an FRS. Those are all excellent cars, don't get me wrong on that, but when you lay them all out on a spreadsheet and you look at all the pros and cons, in my opinion, owning something as exotic as a Lotus definitely puts it at the top of the list for a first exotic sports car. Next up is miles per gallon. You don't really consider or worry about MPG when buying an exotic sports car, but with the Lotus I think it's something to mention because you do get 23 city and 27 highway. Compared to other supercars, and of course at a much higher price point, that's a pretty big gap over a GTR, which is at 1622, or even a Gallardo, which is at 1420. So running off a 10.5 gallon tank, you'll be able to get a lot of driving in without having to fill up very often. And last up is the visibility, which is very excellent for such a small car. You have your manual adjusting side mirrors, which easily show the entire vehicle, and with the rear glass just over your shoulder, there's not many blind spots. You can easily see traffic on your right there and over your left shoulder. So those are a few reasons why I think the Lotus Elise is the best bargain supercar. I hope you guys enjoyed that video as much as I did with such an amazing car. Huge shout out once again to Maserati-Lotus of Greenville for providing this vehicle for today's video. Definitely check out their website in the description below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to click on that subscribe button down below, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you guys